Trying to protect myself because it is freezing out here tonight. Both of these teams are going to have a tough time under these conditions.
You can only dream of Jacksonville, huh?
Oh, only Jacksonville. Right around this time. 80 degrees, sunny. Yeah, great time.
Well, let's talk about these two teams. First, let's talk about Oak Park. We've said it before, Matt Ament, we've seen him on the Game of the Week for now it's the third straight years.
Well, Neil, I tell you, he's everything that a player you'd want as a coach. I mean, he does everything well as a quarterback. He runs the ball, he throws the ball. He's a big leader for this offense, and he's been doing it for 3 years. So here's an experienced senior that we have. On the other side of the ball, Tony Maldonado is a guy for Christman who does about the same thing as Ament. He's a guy they rely on to be much of their offense tonight, running and throwing the ball. So there are two good quarterbacks in this game. Should be an interesting contest.
Normally I would turn over here to Theodis Brown, but where is this guy tonight?
Well, Theodis tonight is playing his Deion Sanders impersonation. He's singing the national anthem for the attack, and then he's going to rush over here, I believe, to do our sideline reporting. So he's got double duty tonight. Theodis, get over here as soon as possible.
All right, so if you're looking for Big Daddy, we'll have him later on with some features and highlights tonight. But right now we're going to prepare ourselves for the kickoff. We'll have it next between Oak Park and William Christman.
You know, Ed, it's time your house did something nice for you.
Who are you?
I'm the boatman's guy, here to talk about home equity loans. Low rates, the interest is usually deductible. You just X out those taxes.
Mildred!
Mildred, come out here. It's about a home equity loan from Boatman's. Hey, Ed's pumped. Mildred, he says he loves you.
Announcing ESPN's 12th Man Contest. It's simple. You could win a trip to an away Chiefs game and prizes from the Kansas Lottery and Supercuts just by watching.
Get closer to the action, Neil.
That's right, Duran. Watch Bump and Run on KCCP TV 30 for trivia question answers.
Each week from November 5th through the 21st, we'll ask you to dig deep for the answer. Watch Bump and Run for the questions and ESPN for the clues. Entry forms available in Friday's sports section of the Kansas City Star.
The High School Game of the Week is brought to you by Boatman's, Kansas City's largest bank with 45 metro area locations to serve all your banking needs.
And we're back in the Northtown tonight. First time we've been in this press box this season, Duran, and I know you're glad the heat's going up here.
I love it because the heat is moving around this nice facility very nicely for me.
Get yourself situated here, man.
I'm trying to.
Back deep we have Kyle Sharp, just a freshman out here for Oak Park. On one side, he's the near man in your screen, and on the other side, I believe that is Eric Hernandez. And to kick it off is Brian Bates for William Christman. And William Christman can really make their season tonight if they were to pull out a victory over Oak Park, coming in here at 2-6. And 0-1 in district play, and of course the Northmen have an outstanding season this year, undefeated, and looking to move forward into district play tonight. This is taken by Hernandez at the 10. Nice hole up the middle, and Hernandez still on his feet on the far sideline, finally driven out of bounds at midfield and driven out by the kicker Bates. And let's look at the starting lineups. First, the offense for Oak Park, and they are led by their quarterback Matt Ament. They're all everything quarterback, honorable mention All-Metro a season ago. And up front they're solid and big, averaging about 230 pounds across the front. And for William Christman, they're led by their linebacker, Chuck Hopkins, who's had a fine season this year. And then the secondary looks like this. 1st and 10, Oak Park at the 50. Ament on the option play, cuts it inside, and is clobbered as he reaches the 45 by a number of Bears there, but not before he's picked up about 5 or 6. It was Tiolino who got the initial hit in there on him.
Ament just driving down the line of scrimmage, running out the veer option that Oak Park is very successful with most of the time, and just cuts up the field, reads the blocking very well, and picks up a big gain of about 6 yards. So a good start for this Oak Park team.
Second down for Oak Park. On the pitch, they go back to Caleb Barber, and he bounces off. first down, and he's tackled there by Sean Terry. And Barber has come off a knee injury fairly well. He hasn't played in a couple of games, and tonight he's seeing action on the game of the week.
Well, Neil, this is a kid with tremendous speed. I tell you, he can really turn it on when he gets in the open field. You can see he's a leading rusher on his football team. Actually, second leading rusher behind Cooper with 556 yards. But what a tremendous talent that Barber is.
Oak Park going right to work on their first possession tonight. Out of the I formation. Back to pass, Ament looking far sideline and throws it out of bounds. The intended receiver over there is 82, Eric Berkner. And Sean Terry was in the coverage for William Christman.
Ament trying to get loose, Neil. You can see him rolling out that time and throwing a ball to the outside. He had to put it on the outside because the receiver really didn't give the safety a good fake down the field, so he had to throw it away from the defender, and that was a good position for the pass, but it was just overthrown. So he'll loosen up as the night goes on, but it's awful cold out there to be throwing that football, so they'll rely on that running game a lot tonight.
They do it right here on the option play, and Ament taken out of bounds at the 31-yard line on a nice gain of about 7 or 8. Chuck Hopkins ran him out of bounds, and Sean Terry as well. Coach Keith Ross in his 9th season at Oak Park. He only get 4 games that they have lost the last 4 seasons to Blue Springs, and they avenged that loss somewhat this year with a victory this season at Blue Springs.
Well, the one thing you know about his teams up front on the line of scrimmage, they're going to be blocking, and they're going to be blocking well. And that's what is the key to this Oak Park team. Holes like that, Neil, where you get them gaping through there. See number 35 that time for Park, Scott Cooper, who is the leading rusher, and you can see why that hole was a mile wide, Neil. Good man-on-man blocking up front. Did an outstanding job at the point of attack, as we'll see here on the replay. Look at the clean blocks right there. It just opens up right there, and a good move that time by Cooper to escape the safety that time, and you can see him struggling for those extra yards, but here's a senior who's had a great career here at Oak Park.
Well, you and me and 3 or 4 of our friends could have fit through that hole, and this is Barber. Touchdown, Oak Park. 10th touchdown of the season for Caleb Barber. And just like that, the Northmen have taken it down the field 50 yards very efficiently. The running game over the work there, and Oak Park on top 6-0.
Well, they ran the ball every time except for one, and that time it was incomplete. So you can say they got there by rushing the football, and with the backs that they have in Cooper and Barber, it could be a long night for this Christman team.
And it will be Derek Bland on to try the extra point for Oak Park. Procedure call against Oak Park. Official not able to form the words yet, I guess, tonight, Duran. Can't blame him, though, big guy. I mean, it's rugged out there. Caleb Barber just happy to be on the field tonight after going through the injury problems with his knee. Brings plenty of speed to this team.
Oh, he brings tremendous speed to this team, and just a great running back, Neil. The thing about Caleb Barber is his vision. He's got good vision. He can see things so well.
And this one is snapped over Ament's head. He tracks it down, tries to improvise, and almost picks it up. Intended receiver, Berkner.
Here's a touchdown run. Barber getting the ball. Look at the vision he shows there. He cuts all the way back across the field, Neil, and as he picks his opening and gets into the end zone. But great vision shown there by Barber. And you can see here the vision, the huge hole that the offensive line opened up for him, and he gets in pretty much untouched.
Caleb looks like he's been there before, Duran.
Well, he's been there 10 times this season, so he's used to doing that little end zone dance.
All right, Oak Park on top, 6-0, as the extra point was no good. Jason Faulkner back deep to receive the kick from Scott Cooper. Northmen in here 8-0, ranked number 1 in the city. And number 3 in the state of Missouri, 5A level. And there is Faulkner back William Christman. And he takes it in at the 15. Getting outside to the far side of the field, plenty of room on the run back out to the 41, brought down there by Matt Waldman. And let's look at the William Christman starting lineup. Their quarterback as well leads this team, as does Matt Ament for Oak Park. Tony Maldonado, the quarterback, and he has accounted for about 40% of the offense this year for William Christman. Bears coming off a loss last week against St. Joe Central. Out of the wing T formation. And racked up quickly is Sean Terry. On the stop, Mark Charlie for Oak Park.
Well, we're going to see that classic old ageless offense, the wing T formation, where you've always got a guy lined up on the wing.
And here are the defensive starters. Robert Aschentrop and crew out of the 4-3 defense for the Northmen. Bringing up a 2nd down and 8 for William Christman at the 43. On the rollout, this is Maldonado cutting it inside. And he's ahead to the 47, tackled by a couple of Northmen, Charlie and Aschentrop. Well, Maldonado is a 3-year starter as well, Duran. We talked about how valuable he is to this team, but he, like Ament, has started for 3 seasons.
And he's a tremendous athlete, Neil, as you well know. And I tell you, anytime you can account for 40% of your team's offense, you know they look to you not only for leadership, but for productivity.
The inside handoff, the running back is stood up on the carry for William Christman, I believe. Sure who got the carry on that one. I think it's 22, Dell, and Aschentrop and Bland on the stop. Actually, it's 23,
you can see the hole
Jackson.
right there. Thank goodness that Maldonado got the handoff off, because Jason Short was right on top of him, but they're able to pick up the 1st down. It's a good hole, good decision by Maldonado, giving it to his fullback that time, enabling him to pick up the 1st down, because he would have been stopped for a loss had he continued to hold on to that football.
All right, the Bears in Oak Park territory, the 49, Maldonado, and he is sacked at the 47. Flag on the play. 3 Oak Park Northmen, Ziegler, Short, and we're back there to bring him in.
Maldonado rolling out to his right this time, Neil, and he's looking down the field. He wants to throw the ball deep, but he's forced to step up in, and you can see right here there's a face mask penalty as Ziegler and Short are on the tackle. But if you're going to step up, Neil, you got to step away from the pressure. That time he stepped up into the line of scrimmage, into the pressure, and Ziegler and Short were right there to apply that pressure to him. But a lucky break for William Christman, because they get the penalty, and it looks like a major penalty at that.
And the 15-yarder gives them a 1st down.
If you're Oak Park defensively, this is not the type of showing that you want early in the football game, Neil. Your offense comes out, sets the tone, runs the ball down the field, scores a touchdown. Now your defense is out there, and they haven't been able to pretty much stop them so far in this 1st series.
On the carry, that is Ronnie Jackson. He's ahead for a couple of yards on the play, tackled there by Charlie and Derek Bland. Jackson had a fine game earlier this season against Blue Springs. 169 yards in that ball game for Jackson, which is impressive against the Wildcats.
What makes this offense so dangerous, Neil, is that you can hand it off to 1 or 3 guys, or the quarterback can keep the ball. So the defense has to be honest as far as their responsibilities are concerned.
On the inside handoff, that is Haywood Gentry with not much running room there, as the line of the Northmen stood firm.
And that's the reason this play was unsuccessful, was because of that defensive line, and up front, Chris Ziegler getting penetration in the backfield, knocking off the blockers right there, and you can see the running back runs right into the blocker, and it stacks up the middle, and there's no place for him to run. But Ziegler is a big force inside for this Oak Park football team.
6'2", 246, all conference last season. On the quick pass, it's caught over there by And some nice running gets him forward and close to a first down.
Good throw, good catch that time by Faulkner, but his ability to run after the catch, Neil, is what got him this first down. Escaping the defenders, almost tipped that time, but watch, he concentrates, and look at his ability to get upfield, shake off some tacklers right there, and then stretch out here at the end to pick up the first down.
And that's his 13th catch of the season for the junior. Out of the wing tee, Maldonado again looking for Faulkner, overthrows him this time. In the coverage over there, Eric Hernandez.
Well, you got Jason Faulkner that time. He was expecting the ball to be thrown directly to him, and the quarterback's looking at a lane to throw to, so he's got to recognize that, move up the field just a little, maybe one more step, take one more step, but look, make an effort to go catch the ball. He didn't that time. You can't always, as a receiver, expect the ball to be thrown directly to you.
William Christman with a nice first drive of the ball game. Here's the handoff, sweeping left to Gentry. Cuts it inside of the 23, where he's run down there by Robert Ashentrop.
Gentry's a tall running back, Neil. He needs to get a little bit lower those pads. That time he had a good run to the outside, but if he lowers his pads and helmet, he might be able to shed that tackler off and keep his feet and even go on further for a longer run. But he's a young kid. He's a sophomore, 6'2", 180. That's big for a running back. He'll learn how to run as he gets more experience back there at that halfback position.
And plenty of underclassmen on this William Christman team. Oak Park, very veteran squad. Back to pass, Maldonado sets up the screen. That is Loving. And Shane inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
I like what they're doing here, Neil, because what they're trying to do is slow down that pass rush. And good job by the coach over there by calling those screens, because it's going to eventually slow that pass rush down, because they're going to have to look for these screens later in the game. You can see Maldonado throwing it over there into the flat that time to Shane Loving, and he's able to pick up a couple yards, but that slows down that pass rush, Neil.
And Shane Loving with his 8th catch of the season. It looks like the penalty will be against William Christman.
Illegal motion on the offense. Repeat third down.
All right, motion against William Christman. Well, Coach Joe Keaton of William Christman, just in his 2nd season here, but for 23 seasons, he was the offensive coordinator for Missouri Rolla. So bringing the wing tee over here, trying to get this program going for William Christman. They haven't had a winning season since 1975.
And he's got a young football team. They're going to take their lumps, and they understand that, but they're going to be better because they're getting experience. And that time they try to run to the wide side of the field on 3rd down and long, and trying to catch Oak Park in his zone defense, dropping back, expecting to pass, and then hit him with the run. But that time the defense did an outstanding job of stuffing it.
Well, Brian Bates is going to get an opportunity here. He is 2 for 5 this season. His longest a 33-yarder, which he kicked last week against St. Joe. This one is a 45-yard attempt. And that's got to be like kicking a brick.
Yeah, those
and it looked like it was tipped at the line of scrimmage as well.
That ball is so hard and so cold, Neil. It's hard to compress the ball, and that's what gives it its distance. When you compress the ball, then you're able to get more distance out of the kick. And with these conditions tonight, even though he may have just shanked this ball right here, as you can see him, he just tries to pull, but he can't compress it. Nobody got a hand on it. It's just a poor kick, but it's going to be difficult to make long field goals when the weather is this cold tonight.
I'm trying to figure out what type of an insect is flown into my hot chocolate here.
That's
Can
all
you
right.
identify this thing?
Just a big horse fly. There are no horses around here.
All right, big guy. Up the middle, Cooper. And again, the line of Oak Park, which has performed so well this season, is doing a beautiful job tonight. Chris Wiley made the stop for William Christman.
Christman has to have the ability, Neil, to stop that running play up front. Because if you can't stop the first guy, then the second back is the one that's going to kill you. And then also the quarterback getting on the corner. But you've got to show the ability to be able to stop the fullback in this type of offense. And if you can't do it, you're going to see it all night until you stop it.
Northman, second and short on the option. Aim it, pitch it back, and just crushed. Delivering the blow there is Anthony Willis. Mercy.
Anthony Willis got kind of blocked into that. He's got a little shoulder sting that time. Ament coming down the line of scrimmage, pitching a little bit late, and there's Willis right there as he comes off the block on the corner. Late pitch that time, and Willis just making the hit on Cooper. Good stick.
That's Cooper at 217, and Willis going $135 on that. On the option, Ament, and he cuts it inside, and it looks like he's got the first down across the 30. And Shane Loving makes the stop for William Christman.
It's tough when you got a quarterback out on the corner, 6'2", 205. He's so big and strong, Neil. They needed 3 yards. He cuts up, and he's able to drag 2 defenders and pick up the first yard, only because of his size and strength that he has. Just a big, talented kid here.
What about the shoes, though, Duran? What's up with that?
Well, he's got the little spat job.
The what?
He's got the spat job.
What is this?
I don't know if it's official, but it looks like it's a.
We'll get back to the spat job in just a minute.
Spats.
Aim it to throw, and he's got his receiver on the near sideline, Josh Haynes. Josh pulls in catch number 7. Ben Moore on the stop.
Well, Haynes makes that catch, but Eric Hernandez, you give him credit as a slot back. He was the guy that ran down the field and cleared out the defense, so they were trying to respect him deep. And Ament finds his receiver over here, number 88, Josh Haynes, wide open because they ran a clear-out pattern, and he was sitting there on the sideline. So it's a big game for them. They pick up another first down, but it's good presence by Ament to pick out his open receiver.
And a 1st and 10 for Oak Park at their own 44. They already lead 6-0. Caleb Barber picking his way. Why? Because he's got his option of about 4 holes up front. And Tyler Clubb finally makes the stop for the Bears.
Just a straight-off handoff, Neil, coming here. You see the tackle, 78 here, get turned to the inside as 75 Ziegler makes an outstanding block. But you can't stop in the hole if you're the running back. You got to make your cut and run to daylight. That time Barber kind of hesitated once he got past the line of scrimmage, and that cost him maybe an extra couple of yards.
Chris holding his block there for about, what was that, about a minute?
It was an excellent block, and that's the kind of blocks those offensive linemen must make.
Amen on the rollout has Haynes again.
Josh Haynes showing excellent concentration. That was a pretty difficult throw for the quarterback, but Matt Ament made it look very, very easy, Neil. Rolling out to his right, putting it right there on the money. Outstanding throw and catch.
Josh, another senior, with his 2nd catch tonight. And remember how cold it is out there, too. You talked about it's not easy to throw the football. Ament completing 66% of his passes this season.
As you can see, they don't throw a lot. They try to utilize that running game, and once they get the running game going, then they try to keep you off balance by mixing in some passes now and then, and he's been very successful at 66, over about 60% of his passes.
On 1st down, Cooper the fullback. And he's got about 3 or 4 yards, but not before the Bears let him know that they were back there. The folks doing the hitting, Tyler Clubb appropriately, and Brian Mosier. Flag on the play. Got a personal foul against Oak Park.
Probably a late hit there by one of the offensive linemen coming over there trying to clear somebody off that pile. Usually happens.
Well, Keith Ross, we know that he is a very intense individual. Let's listen in.
Dead ball foul at the end of the play. Personal foul on the offense.
You must have been on the pile a few times, huh? If you knew.
I've been hit by some linemen flying over the pile, Neil, I tell you. Here you see him right there. There's Cooper. Ooh.
Backs the Northman up. 2nd down and 25. And Barber with no place to go. Tyler Clubb.
I tell you, Clubb played like an All-American player. there on that play. He shed the blocker, got in the backfield, and really laid a big hit that time on Barber. But he was, as you can see him coming down the line of scrimmage, he never stops. Look at him come in there and make that hit and drive him backwards and then slam him to the turf. It's a great play that time by Tyler Clubb.
All right, we're all talking about the fact that it should be second down up here because it was a penalty with a personal foul on first down.
Well, maybe not though. If the personal foul occurred after the play was over.
Very good point.
It still could be third down.
You got it. That's the end of the quarter. Oak Park leading it 6-0 over William Christman. Well, let's see. On bump and run, what did we had? J.J. Burden doing his dance, and he laid a lick on Theotis, did he?
Yeah, he was teaching them how the receivers block downfield. And Theotis took a licking, but I must say it was light Timex, and he got up and kept ticking. So,
well, we want to tell you also that you can watch and win on bump and run. In fact, in November, if you stay with us and watch the show and you get the answer to the trivia question, write that down on an entry blank, which will be in the Kansas City Star and also at American Cablevision store locations, you can win a trip to the Chiefs game in Minnesota at the end of December. So you'll definitely want to watch Bump and Run for your chance to watch and win. There's also some other prizes associated with the contest. And stay tuned for details.
All I want to know is, am I eligible to win this trip or what? Huh? Huh?
So, in a word, no.
Okay.
It's been told to me, Duran, that you can watch, but you can't win. And don't cry over there on me. Out of the I formation, 3rd and 21 for Oak Park. And they go to Cooper, the fullback up the middle, and he's out close to the first down on 3rd and 21. He was stopped there by Moore and also Sean Terry.
Good call, Neil. They run to the short side of the field. You would anticipate going to the wide side. You see the trap, the guard pulls. Good block there, and Cooper just finds an open hole. They can't close it down quick enough, and he's able to pick up most of those yards back. But it looks like Oak Park will not go for it, and it will be 4th down and about 3 yards.
And to kick it away, Matt Waldman for the Northmen.
Matt Waldman, brother of pious great quarterback Brett Waldman.
And they faked it, and Cooper has the ball and the first down.
I just kind of had a sense that he wasn't going to punt that ball with the way he's been able to move this ball on this William Christman football team. And here's the fake right there, the snap directly to Cooper, and he just fouls his blocking, makes a great cut there, and picks up the first down.
Well, sort of a rounded cut there anyway. We'll give it to Cooper.
I'll give him a good, that was a pretty classy cut there.
All right.
He made the defender miss, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. It was a great cut.
It's your 217 fullback at 10 yards a pop tonight. Well, so how do you feel about this Oak Park team this season, Duran, after we've watched them for the last 3 seasons? The only team they've lost to, Blue Springs. What do you think of them?
Well, I think they're definitely a good football team. Up front, they block pretty well, and they've got the experience that they need at the skill positions now, and that makes it awfully tough on younger teams to come in here and try to play against this team and win, because they just got too much experience at those skill positions. And in high school, if you can block offensively and you've got some guys that are quick, fast, and are able to run the football, you can get it done, and they've been able to do that.
That was a good demonstration right there. Caleb Barber providing the skill activity, and the line again blocking very well up front. 1st and 10 Northmen. Deep in William Christman territory. Ament on the option, and with more good yardage down inside the 10-yard line before the Bears can bring him down. And that is Wiley that led the charge along with Sean Terry.
As you get closer down to the goal line, you would expect that Ament would try to do it himself, Neil. He's been always in control of himself down here, and he knows he won't commit the turnover, and there he makes an outstanding running play and cuts back and is able to pick up about 9 yards. So when it's down here in this area, look for him to hold on to the ball most of the time, because he's a guy that can make the big runs and put the ball in the end zone.
Barber, second man through, picks his way inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line before the Bears can bring him down. Jeremy Constance in there leading the charge for William Christman. But again, Barber can just sit back there and pick his hole, because he can run about anywhere with the size of the...
He can run it anywhere, Neil, but the key thing is the blocking up front has been outstanding. He's been able to pick his holes. The fullback Cooper that time made a great block to be able to find the hole that he needed to run in. But they're just dominating up front on the line of scrimmage. This Christmas team cannot hold up front against this Oak Park team that's been able to run the ball so well.
First and goal at the 3. And didn't quite get in there on the carry. That is Derek Bland.
Chuck Hopkins on
There's
the
number 55 filling the hole that time, Neil, as you can see. Driving the ball carrier back. That's Chuck Hopkins. That time stepping up from his middle linebacker position and laying a hit. Driving him backwards. That's what you have to do in these goal line situations.
Amen on the quarterback sneak. Touchdown, Northland.
Matt Amon.
Yeah, Matt Amen makes me look good up here. I called it. He was going to keep the ball. He did. Quarterback sneak into the end zone. Another touchdown for Oak Park.
Well, that one was a very efficient drive that was kept on the ground. And even though they suffered the big penalty on 3rd down and over 20 to go, they had 2 downs to go and picked it up, and here they go for 2. Amen on the rollout, pitching back on the option to Barber. And he is roped and tied from behind by Shane Loving.
The 2-point conversion is no good.
Loving coming up and making a big stick on Barber, and that
Loving with the tackle.
forced him not to get into the end zone and convert that big 2-point conversion. Now it stands at 12-0, and there's a touchdown by Amen, just following the line right on through and picks up the touchdown. Here's a 2-point conversion as Barber tries to get in, but he's dragged down from behind by Shane Loving, and then takes an additional hit there on the outside before he gets in. But Oak Park has been very impressive here in this first half. 15 plays, 80-yard drive, Neil. That's what you call domination.
Okay, Amen had the spat job on his shoes. What was the deal with the lid there on his head?
I don't know. Maybe he's trying to keep his head warm. I couldn't tell if it was a scarf or a cap, but maybe it's
a Derek Thomas offering, or a Charles Mency type of a deal.
Or a prime time. He's on prime time football tonight, so maybe he's trying to imitate prime time.
You never know. Cooper kicks it deep, and this is Willis on the near sideline, and at the 28, he's run out of bounds.
Jake Catherell and Matt Lowry with the tackle.
No place for Cooper to go.
There we are, man. It is very, very comfortable in this nice press box facility here in Northtown, isn't it?
Very comfortable.
I haven't heard you. Just below us, maybe 4 or 5 feet. You're talking about the Nanook of the North. Look at that. We got the hot cider going. And
yeah. I feel good.
I can tell you haven't complained. William Christman with the football now, trailing by 12. Ronnie Jackson on the carry.
Neil, there's a very distinct difference as you can watch the linemen from Christman as opposed to those offensive linemen from Oak Park. How they fire off the ball, how the Oak Park defense is getting penetration on their side, on the Christman side of the ball, as opposed to on the Oak Park side. And as you can see, look at the yards. They're all rushing yards, most of them 145 to 23. And that's been because Oak Park has really controlled the clock here in the first half and the line of scrimmage.
And Coach Keaton didn't see something, or he saw something he didn't like, wanted the timeout, and now talks to his quarterback Maldonado. Well, this weekend, ESPN features a triple header on college football. Saturday at 11:30, it's Michigan and Wisconsin out of the Big Ten. At 6:30, West Virginia at Syracuse. And then 9:30 on the West Coast, Arizona at UCLA. And then on Thursday, Texas at Houston. Exciting college football on ESPN and American Cablevision. Plenty of good games coming up in college football this week. And Coach Keaton at the college level for 23 seasons at Missouri Rollins.
I watched my alma mater get beat last night, Neil, on ESPN. College football. Too many turnovers.
There wasn't a whole lot of folks in that ball game, I noticed, Ron.
Too big a stadium in the middle line.
Okay, that's your call?
Oh, yeah.
Maldonado over the middle on his call, has his receiver at the 45. That is Sean Terry, and he cut it back inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Big play for the Bears. 43 yards.
43 yards to Terry. Good pass at that time by Maldonado. He found his receiver open and laid it right in there, giving him enough time to just run right underneath the pass. As you can see it there, look at that. And here the ability to run after the catch makes Waldman miss that time, breaks another tackle, tries to get past Hernandez, and is finally brought down.
And another junior on this team, Sean Terry. Here's Maldonado on the option play, and he maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard more. And McAdams and Ament were in on the stop for Oak Park.
3-yard gain.
Well, the Bears trying to make a game out of it here. Well, they have played a very tough schedule this season, William Christman has. And Oak Park, possibly the toughest on the schedule. Inside handoff, Terry got some room to the outside. And Waldman just brings him down inside the 10-yard line, or he would have had a touchdown.
Waldman makes a touchdown-saving tackle here. As you can see, the cross-action play. 64 gets up the field too far and creates a running lane. And there's number 34 for Christman that time, Sean Terry, breaking outside and getting dragged down from behind. We've seen him break loose twice. He just doesn't have the speed to take it the distance quite yet, but he's been running very effectively here in the second quarter.
It looked like Shane Loving gave him a good block to spring him outside. Inside handoff. And that is 23, Ronnie Jackson on the carry. Down about the 5-yard line.
Where Oak Park
actually inside the 5.
Where Oak Park has been getting gaping holes, this Christman team has really just been getting cracks and creases, Neil. And these backs have been kind of like sliding through these cracks and creases to pick up these yards 4 and 5 at a time.
The big man gets the handoff. Touchdown. That is Vina Tialino at 303 lining up in the backfield.
I know our director in the truck is happy about this. Here's a big man scoring a touchdown. Look at that, 78. Yeah, who's going to tackle him? Who's going to stop him? Nobody. Well, hand the ball off, let him go.
It brings back memories of the fridge, doesn't it, Duran?
Oh, yeah.
And as noted earlier in the game, that might be a standoff in a teeter-totter situation, the fridge versus Tialino.
I tell you, boy, he looks like a refrigerator. There's no question about that.
All right, one of the top touchdowns we've ever had here, huh?
Could be the best ever on the game of the week. Let's take a look at this, Neil. We got to see this. Well, they got 50s going in motion,
and
blocking.
70s carrying.
And then 78s carrying. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. There's 3. He's in. No way. That's a classic score there. Look at the blocking, though. There's good blocking on the play. Oh my goodness. That quarterback, amen. And he's the starter trying to take on this 300-pound guy. If they want him to play the rest of the game, I think they'll keep him out of those goal line situations, especially when the big number 78 Vina.
Vina Tialino. Let's call him the plumber as he unclogged the drain that time. Took everybody down with him.
And this is a big, they're going for the 2, and could be a big 2-point conversion here, Neil.
Don't you love it, the old offensive coordinator, Joe Keaton, making the call. Maldonado. And they say he didn't get in. I thought maybe with the second effort he was in there, but the officials saying that he didn't make it. And Ashton Trop kept him from getting into the end zone. I believe John Dennison, our director, will be ISOing Tialino for the rest of the evening. Even on the sidelines.
That's a big young man right there.
Now what do you think's happening at his dinner table, Deron? Are the sparks flying? Are other people allowed to be involved while that's going on?
Yeah, I don't know.
At the same table? Or is it just too scary a process?
He's probably watching Granny on the Beverly Hillbillies make a lot of vittles, man. He's like been eating a lot of them.
Hernandez is back deep to receive the kick from Brian Bates. Also back there is Caleb Barber. Both those guys with some good wheels for this Northman team. And they kick it away from them. And it looks like the Bears have the football on the fumbled kick. They do. The Bears have it at the 31.
Boy, I tell you, that's a great kick that time. And good hustle down the field. You got to catch the ball. These conditions tonight, Neil, is kind of cold. The ball gets a little slick when it gets cold. He fumbles the ball, and they're able to recover.
Anthony Willis fell on it.
You can see the fumble, and then there's Willis hustling down the field, picking it up. Can't see who that Oak Park receiver is, but that was a big turnover for Christman. Now they've got the momentum on their side.
So the Bears with the football, and back to pass. Maldonado going right after it, has his receiver. Touchdown, William Christman. Haywood Gentry.
And I tell you, Neil, that's that old college coach in 23 years of experience. When you get a turnover, you go for the juggler, and that time they made a great call, misdirection, ran the play action pass, and they hit him for the big touchdown. And this game is tied up.
Haywood Gentry with only his second catch of the season. His other one was for 35 yards. This one goes for 31 and a touchdown. And the sophomore has his team tied with Oak Park at 12. Christman going for 2. To pass again, Maldonado floats it into the end zone, and they've got it. And again, or they wave it off. I don't know why they waved it off. It looked like he caught the football to me. That was against Gentry.
Pass was intended for Haywood Gentry.
Pass was intended for Gentry. It looked like he had the ball. As we can see, here's the misdirection play on the touchdown. And Maldonado throws it down. He actually had 2 receivers wide open down the field. And there's Gentry that time, making the catch as Walton tackles him into the end zone, and he picks up the big touchdown to tie this football game up.
And Eric Hernandez.
I'm still trying to figure out what happened on the extra point.
Well, the 2-point conversion, he threw it, Neil. It looked like he caught the ball, but it was stripped before he could come down with it in his possession.
All right.
Look for the same type of kick here, Neil. By Brian Bates.
We're knotted at a dozen, and Bates again floats it toward the right side of the field. This time it's taken in by Hernandez, and he's got some room on the far sideline. Got a block from Barber, and out to the 45, maybe the 46, and a nice return by Eric Hernandez. Tackled there by Brian Mosier and Dwight Beck.
Good return by Hernandez that time.
Sam Gordon.
They tried the same kick Bates did, kicking it over to the right. This time he kicked it deep to Hernandez, who does what he does best, keep his head up and make a cutback all the way across the field. And he breaks a tackle here, another missed tackle, 3, 4 missed tackles before he's brought down. Good running.
With the white shoes glowing in the dark. Up the middle, Cooper spins his way, crosses midfield to the 48. of William Christman. Tackled by a couple of Bears, Jason Faulkner and Chuck Hopkins. And Chuck is a tough guy, Hopkins is, in that William Christman defense. 5'10" and 215.
He's very tough.
Going up against another tough guy, 217.
But the defense must
Cooper.
show an ability to stop Cooper on these quick dives.
On the option, back to the running back Bland, and he is tripped up by Jason Faulkner on a nice play.
Faulkner coming in from his cornerback position, ready to play all the way. They had good matchups on the weak side of the field with the option as Ament takes the handoff out of the fullback Cooper and is forced to pitch. He's had to pitch it so quick that Jason is able to come up on the outside and make the play. Good play by Faulkner that time. I would like to see him stay on his feet and run through the tackle instead of dropping to his knees and arm tackling, but it was a good play by him.
3rd and 5, option the other way, and Ament cannot get the first down. Tackled at the 46 of William Christman, and he's tackled there by Brian Mosier and also Chris Wiley. And this time the cutback didn't work for Ament.
Well, you can see the nose tackle that time shoot the gap away from the rollout on the option, but then he comes back in and is able to make the tackle. Number 79 that time for Christman, Stephen Loving.
Last time they faked it, Waldman is back into punt formation. They fake it again, and Cooper has the first down. They've gone for it on 4th down twice, faking the punt, and both times they picked up the first down, and Brian Mosier makes the stop for William Christman.
If I'm Christman, I've got to play the fake. Every time they line up the punt, especially when they're close inside their territory, you've got to play it with Cooper sitting back there because he's just as effective as a runner from that position as he is in the regular offense. You've got to be able to stop that play.
Just like the old single wing there. Center it back to him, and he's gone. And Caleb Barber might be gone. Just tripped up as he goes inside the 15.
Good block that time by Cooper, but there's the speed. Once he sees the hole, Neil, he doesn't stop. Bam, right through the hole, gets up the field and takes it for a big gain. The guard pulls around. Cooper leads up inside. Good cutback that time by Barber. He runs to daylight and shoots, gets vertical up the field. He doesn't zigzag and go sideways. He just goes straight ahead and picks up some big yards.
Cooper, huge hole inside the 10 to the 7. Tackled by Justin Stumpenhouse.
Brian Mosier on the tackle.
Boy, Scott Cooper has just benefited all night from that huge gap up the middle that the line of Oak Park is opening up for him.
I'd run him until he couldn't run anymore and until William Christman decides that they want to stop Scott Cooper, because they haven't tonight. Look at that. 9 rushes for 83 yards. That's about 9 yards per carry. So every time he touches the ball, he's picking up 9 yards. So that means that they only need 1 yard to get the first down. I mean,
very nicely done there.
Isn't that?
Your elementary math teacher, very proud of you on that.
I'm glad that I went to college, because I learned it in college.
At
Rutgers.
Whom you saw the other night with no following at the Meadowlands.
Yeah, but they didn't get 9 yards of carry and only have 1 yard to pick up the first down.
That makes the difference,
Yeah,
I guess.
it does.
Amen on the sneak. And my goodness, when you got the 6'2", 205 quarterback and an offensive line like this one, why not? Stumpenhouse makes the stop.
Ament just following his center. Look at that blocking right there, Neil. He just spins off. If he was able to read that guard's block and then keep his feet and turn up the field and go to the left off his behind, he might be in the end zone right now.
53, McAdams, the center, a junior at 220, leading the way. Caleb Barber, not this time.
Caleb Barber with the carry.
The left side of that defensive line standing tough. Mosier was in there. Loving was in there.
That's time Mosier and Loving standing up big up in the middle, not allowing that block by Cooper to be able to be so effective that Barber's able to score. Look for Ament.
Second down and goal. Cooper, touchdown.
Well, instead of Ament, there's Cooper, and as the fans continue to hold their hands in their pockets because we realize it's such a cold evening here, Oak Park scores and they go ahead 18-12. And this time they're going to try to kick the extra point, Neil.
Well, no one has made an extra point tonight, so why not? Derek Bland on to try it. And a nice catch by a spectator back there. So it's 19-12, Oak Park on top with only 55 seconds remaining in the first half. But William Christman hanging tough in this ball game. The looks of this thing, you might have thought it would be a blowout, but they're hanging in. Here's the last touchdown.
Look at the blocking, Neil. There's just no way that he's not going to score when you have that kind of blocking. They are pushing that line backward. And it shouldn't be, because you look at the size that Christman has inside. Those big guys are playing soft. They're not playing aggressive. They're playing soft because Oak Park is not mismatched up front. As a matter of fact, Christman has a much bigger guys inside up the middle. But Oak Park, they're just driving them, getting great leverage. And the William Christman defensive line are playing soft. They've got to play a little bit tougher in the middle. They can't afford to be knocked off the ball like they are.
So Cooper scores the touchdown, now prepares to boot it off. Down the center of the field, Faulkner at his 5. And he takes the wheelbarrow forward with Aschentrop dragging behind, and that's where William Christman will start now, just outside their 25-yard line at about the 28. Time winding in half number 1. With the running attack provided by Oak Park, this first half has flown.
Flown? I mean, it's just going by so quickly. I've never seen a game go by that fast.
My hot chocolate is still warm, but I'm not going to dare drink it with the insects floating in there. Go back for another beverage here in a little bit. Faulkner is clobbered. That is Mark Charlie putting the big hurt on him.
Well, Mark Charlie makes a big hit. This time they were trying to run the old hook and ladder play here with the quarterback throwing to Jason Faulkner. Quick pass, and now he's going to try to catch it and then lateral it back. But that time he gets hit before he's able to do it. It's incomplete as number 43 for the Oak Park guy.
Charlie.
Old Charlie, Mark Charlie, comes in and does the job.
Is it evident that Joe Keaton spent the bulk of his life as an offensive coordinator?
Oh, you can tell.
He has them all drawn up. Here's Maldonado back to pass. Time winding. First half has a receiver over the middle. That is Fairfield. And Joey heads to the sideline. Clock will stop for the first down. Ament on the tackle.
Well, the clock was supposed to stop for the first down, but they just kept running the clock until they called timeout.
First down. Timeout. William Christman.
Christman finally had to go to the timeout to get the clock stopped.
All right, so we have 14 seconds left in the first half. William Christman with the football in their own territory. And while that situation goes on with a timeout, we want to tell you that Sunday night at 7 o'clock, TNT features an NFL Central matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Always the best in NFL action on TNT and American Cablevision. Remember that the Vikings will be playing the Chiefs later on this season.
Oh, yeah, the Vikings, the Packers. I believe, well, I'm not sure they play the Lions this year. They may have.
I don't think they do play the Lions. They have.
But
very appropriately stated, though, escape the Lions.
But they have the Bears yet to play late in the season here at Arrowhead, and they played Tampa the first game of the season. But that Minnesota team is frightening. Did you see them on Monday night?
Yes, I did.
Unbelievable defensively. Tony Dungy has those guys playing. Maldonado
cannot get away. taken down by a shoelace by Mark Daniels, or actually by Jake Catherell.
That's going to be the end of the first half now. But a good half by Christman, who came back on 2 big plays and make this a game. They were getting blown out early, but they were able to come back, and as you can see, Oak Park leads at 19-12.
Oak Park leading by 7, and we'll be back to the frozen tundra with some halftime activities right after this.
Hi, Lorraine. Me again. Guess you heard about this tax bill thing, huh? You know what'd be great? A home equity loan from Boatman's. Oh, yeah, you can use the money for anything you want, and the interest is usually tax deductible. The rates are real low, too, Lorraine. Your son-in-law could maybe get a home equity loan and get you a bigger pool. You got any flippers?
No flipper, it's got a snorkel.
You've been out here a long time, haven't you? Want me to tip you over?
We're at halftime, and somewhat of a surprise in this ball game. William Christman, many people thought would be blown out by Oak Park, even by halftime. But right now, it's Oak Park by 7. And let's go right to the highlights. Early on, Oak Park running the football very well.
Well, Khalid Barber here taking the handoff, showing great vision here, is able to escape, cut up the field, and get into the end zone. First half, Oak Park line of scrimmage, as we'll see here, dominated the line of scrimmage as Ament takes the quarterback sneak into the end zone. But William Christman comes right back here. As you can see, the big fellow here, the big man, Vina Teolino. He's rumbling, bumbling, stumbling into the end zone, running over the quarterback, Matt Ament. Could be the best touchdown ever on the high school game of the week. 300 and some pounds. They get a turnover on the kickoff, the ensuing kickoff, and they go for the juggler as Maldonado hits Gentry down the middle of the field on the big play, and they're able to tie this game up. But Oak Park converting once again on the 4th down on a fake punt, and here's Cooper. The result of it is a touchdown, and Oak Park goes out in front 19-12. Possessions, as you can see, the possessions were pretty even. 2 touchdowns, and Oak Park is able to get the 3rd touchdown right before the half, but this game has been even, and it's been an exciting game, and who would have thought Christman would even be in it at this point?
Bates angles it to the sideline, taken there by Bland, and he crosses the 35 to the 37. And the stats in the first half, as you might imagine, the rushing category dominated by the Northmen, but the passing of William Christman able to keep them in the game.
Well, the passing has kept them in the game, and they scored 1 big play on the pass, but Oak Park has just been rushing the football especially well, and Cooper has been the catalyst of that, and unless they're able to stop him, this Christman defense, it could be a long night. And as you can see the quarterback comparisons here, both of them have played pretty well.
And getting the carry on the first play of the second half and crossing the 40 is Scott Cooper, as he finished the first half with 86 yards, and he adds to his total there, tackled by Teolino.
3 yards, second down.
Matt Ament, 8 versus 8, 2 8s here. The rush, -1 for Maldonado, 96 yards, and the TD, 4 or 7 on the pass. Ament pretty much the same numbers.
Well, the 2 8s, but they left out 78, and he could eat them both for dinner, and he cleaned up the play right there. Vina Teolino.
Christman has to play like that, Neil, not only on defense, but on the offensive side of the ball. They have to be able to get aggressive up front because they have some big people up front. They just need to be more aggressive.
They're huge. They got 3 guys right around the 300 mark. Ament on the rollout, lets it fly, a wobbly pass that pinballs off of 3 people, I believe, and finally caught 86 Catherell in the face, and Sean Terry was back there to deflect it first.
Anthony Willis, number 10's back there. You see Terry coming over from his free safety position, Sean, and there's number 10 deflecting it. and Terry almost winds up with it after Willis deflected it. So I thought Amen had the corner there. He could have easily ran that ball for a first down too, Neil, instead of going up and throwing it.
So Willis with the deflection. Will Waldman actually punt it this time? Yes, he will. And he punts that brick fairly well. Taken in by Sean Terry, and then he's taken down at the 31.
Great punt that time by Waldman. Good hang time and excellent coverage on the punt.
Yeah, 3.5 on the hang time, and particularly when you're kicking that cold football like that, that's very, very impressive. And William Christman starts it on offense after holding Oak Park on their first possession. And again, Christman only trailing by 7 in this ball game. William Christman coming in with a 2-6 record. Oak Park undefeated. Maldonado has his receiver across midfield. Sean Terry caught it and then was banged by Eric Hernandez, but not before he picks up the first down and moves it into Oak Park territory.
Oh, I've been very impressed tonight with Maldonado's arm and his accuracy, Neil. He's been able on first down to complete those play-action passes. As you can see, the free safety rotating away. He throws right back away from where the coverage is rotating. He takes a shot there, but it was a great throw and a great catch.
Sean, another junior in this starting lineup for William Christman. Back to pass, Maldonado sets it up in the flat. That's Terry spinning on some folks and taking it to the 41, maybe the 40. Well, how do you like this? William Christman out of the dressing room, not intimidated whatsoever. Derek Bland finally makes the stop.
Good pass protection up front. He's got plenty of time as he rolls out here and really whips it out into the flat. Good move that time. Sean Terry making the spin move and escaping and picking up 9 yards. They've been impressive on this drive, Neil. They've been able to mix it up, but I tell you, Maldonado seems to have found the touch.
Second down and about 1.5. Inside handoff, Terry can't spin away this time. Wrapping him up was Ashentrop.
Ashentrop that time tackled Terry for a loss on the play. But they're doing everything they can to get in and get the ball to Terry here, who's been a big play guy for him in these types of situations.
Third down, let's call it 3. On the option, Maldonado with a first down and more. It's a foot race, and Maldonado has won it. Flag on the play.
Touchdown, 20, Maldonado. 20 flags on the play.
Let's let him sort it out. It appears to be a touchdown, a face mask against Oak Park. Touchdown, William Christman.
Touchdown.
I tell you, Neil, I don't know. You were talking about earlier, could this be right for the Pickens tonight?
I'll tell you what, William Christman has played a tough schedule this season. You got the conditions, very cold. It's whoever wants to come out and play in this stuff. And William Christman showing you they're right here to do battle. And Brian Bates on to try the extra point, try to tie this thing up. 41-yard touchdown by Maldonado. And this thing is tied up at 19.
Boy, I tell you, what a great execution. Maldonado did an excellent job of faking. You can see 34 with a good lead block, and the hole opens up, and then Maldonado does the rest. You see the cutback right there. There's a face mask by Amen, and then here he just outruns Hernandez. He's shown great speed. Usually Hernandez is the type of player who will run a player down, but Maldonado shows that excellent speed he has at the quarterback and why he's been 40% of this offense this year, Neil. Great run by Christman to get themselves back into this football game at 19-19. So the Northmen here, Neil, have to be feeling a little bit of pressure considering the fact that here a Christman team has come in here, scored 19 points on their defense, and they're only won 2 ball games up until this point. So they've got to be feeling a little bit of pressure.
And remember how big this game is in district play, the second of the district play games here. And Oak Park is 1-0 in district play. This is taken by Bland again on the short kick. And again, he's out to the 32-yard line. So we have a ball game here in Northtown.
Well, the momentum has changed. It's very emotional now for this Christman because they never thought at the start they'd be in this game, but when you execute and you make plays like that, you never know. And the coach is saying, hey, he went in there and talked to him at halftime. We're not even supposed to be this close. You go out there and put some more points on the board, they start feeling the pressure. Maybe they make some mistakes. And here we are back in the football game.
Heyman on the rollout, and he'll run with it, and he is cleaned up by 55, Chuck Hopkins. This one's coming right at you.
Heyman trying to roll out. The key guy that makes this play is the defensive end because he doesn't let him get outside. You see him, he makes a tackle right here. He spins him around, and there's a cleanup tackle by Chuck Hopkins. That's Tyler Clubb doing an outstanding job on the corner that time by not letting him get outside.
Cooper gets the inside, and with some tough running, brings it to the 40.
Well, when you need to have a big play, you go to your big play guy, and that's Cooper up the middle. They haven't been able to stop him all night. Picks up another 8 yards, Neil, and he's been averaging 9 yards a carry. He picks up 8 that time and gets them in the 3rd and short situation.
3rd down 2 for Oak Park. Ball game knotted at 19. Underneath 7 minutes to play now in the 3rd quarter. Cooper again. Believe he has it. The Bears stand tough in the middle. The big defensive front of William Christman.
Well, this time the big guys up front stood up, Neil, and they didn't allow that offensive line to move them back. You see them now. They're taking control and forcing the issue here, and you can see number 55 coming in, making the tackle, stopping them. Chuck Hopkins.
Yeah, Hopkins.
Making a big play. Now they're going for it. And this is a big play of this football game.
4th and 1, Oak Park goes with the quarterback sneak, and they have it fairly easily all the way out to the 45. When in doubt, go with your 205 quarterback.
That's right. He's a big-time player and comes up with the big plays. He's got that experience. But the line, the surge of the offensive line, see 34 go in and then back up. You know it's quarterback sneak. Stay up in there and make a play. Look how they just surge off. You see, oh my goodness, the center just took number 79, just drove him back.
That was Mark McAdams, but on 1st down, nothing doing for Cooper.
Stefan Loving on that last play, Neil, just got drove by the center. I mean, he outweighs the center by at least 100 pounds and gets drove by him. And you can see the play this time. They're able to stand up in the middle, but not this time. Look at him. Loving coming in and getting on the tackle.
Those are some big folks up there.
Oh, they're big. He's got 100 yards on the night, Cooper.
I mean, I didn't know whether this was a high school football game or we were grazing cows out here tonight when I came in here. This is Ament trying to run from everyone, including the zebra. And he can't get away.
Boy, I tell you, that official didn't know where he was on the field. He almost got smashed by a couple of those Christman defenders.
He was the maypole in the middle of that.
Hopkins once again coming in as Ament tries to get out on the corner here. And great job once again, number 89 for that Christman team, who's Tyler Clubb, who forces him back inside. And then he gets back up and is in on the tackle once again. You keep hustling like that, you're able to get on the tackle. Hopkins coming in, Clubb coming in, and the official taking a blow.
3rd and 17, Ament on the pitch out to Barber with room. And he is well short of the 1st down, short by about 8 or 9 yards, tackled by Brian Mosier.
And I tell you, this Christman defense is fired up right now, Neil. They've stopped them, forced them into a 3rd and long situation, or a 4th and long. Now it looks like they're going to punt.
Look at these guys, man.
I tell you, they're big. I mean, oh my goodness, he hasn't missed 2. Oh, I won't even say it.
Oh, yeah. You got Stefan Loving at 310. You got Tialina with 303. And this is Wallman, a mere mosquito at 165, punting it away. Gets a nice roll to the 30. And William Christman is held again here in the second half.
Not as good a punt that time, and Christman's going to get it in good field position. They've been very successful tonight, Neil, throwing on first down. Coming out, throwing the ball down the field on first down. Oak Park has been anticipating the run most of the time on first down, and they've really crossed them up. So I would say that go on first down, throw the football, keep that defense loose.
That sideline and the fans for William Christman. This game would actually absolutely make their season. Can they pull it off? Inside, this is Gentry, the sophomore. Nice running room, about 7 yards on first down.
See, and all Christman needs to do, Neil, is be patient. Just pick up first downs, run time off the clock, shorten the game down. And that puts more pressure on Oak Park, because as you shorten the game down, you know, you have a tendency to feel that pressure, and then you're trying to make plays in a short period of time. You have a tendency to make mistakes.
3:08 to go, third quarter. Maldonado on the option. Crosses the 40 to the 41. Close to a first down, depending on the spot here. And Keith Ross, knowing he's in a battle, his team coming in here undefeated. Again, his only 4 losses the last 3 seasons to Blue Springs. And of course, they were the state champion in 5A in Missouri last season.
And Neil, this would be a devastating loss for this Oak Park team. Devastating.
And of course, we're a long way from there, and here's a measurement to see if they picked up the first down. Talk about close.
If he straightens out the pole, they might be even close. They got the ball.
Still waiting for the call here. I mean, that is as close as I've ever seen on a measurement.
And I'll tell you what, you only get that kind of view on the high school game of the week, because we bring it to you right up close.
That's right. So he was short by one of the links of that chain. And that brings up a third down, and the inchworm. We know what Oak Park would do if it was third and that short. They would go with Ament behind their center McAdams. Let's see what the Bears do. They go on the handoff. They've got the first down. And breaking the tackle is Jackson. Ronnie Jackson into Oak Park territory. Brought down by Derek Bland. I thought maybe he was going to stutter step himself into the turf and not pick it up, but he freed himself and picked up big yardage.
Give Maldonado credit. He came out over the center, Neil. He realized that the Oak Park defense was bunched up in the middle. I'm sure they had a quarterback sneak call. You see him bunched up. He makes the outside, checks to an outside running play, and there you see it right there. Ronnie Jackson, who shows his ability that time and escapes a tackler, breaks tackles when he should be tackled there for the first down, but he's able to pick up that extra yardage.
This is Gentry sweeping left, squeezes through there to the 43. About 4 yards on first down, maybe 5. Tackled there by Mark Charlie.
Well, I tell you, they're making things happen right now on the offense. You know, we've noticed a change in the defense. They've got Ament back there at the free safety position right now, Neil. They were getting burnt early in the game on some deep passes, and now he's back there protecting the deep middle. You got to have your best athlete and your smartest athlete on the field.
Ball hits the deck, and falling on it immediately is Haywood Gentry. And a big loss on the play, all the way back, almost to midfield.
Well, they lose the football, Neil, but the one thing they do is they were able to recover it and get it back, so they still have another chance.
Third down, and it looks like about 14. And the Oak Park sideline trying to come alive here. They're either excited about their team or the after party. Third and long. Ducking free is Maldonado. Got some room on the left made the stop.
What a big conversion here by Maldonado, keeping his feet. He should have been tackled in the backfield for a sack, but he just showed determination. This is one of those games where it seems like everything right now is going right for Christman. Everything's rolling right. He ducks under. Ziegler misses a tackle right there. He should have been down. Everybody's to the right, and you see Maldonado is able to escape and brung down by Hernandez, but not before he gets the first down.
Option play again. Pitch it back to Terry. Got room on the right side, and he is strangled at the 13. Another first down. Matt Ament made the tackle.
They've totally got this Oak Park defense off balance. They're not sure what they're going to do. They're running inside, they're running outside, they're running option plays now. As you can see, Maldonado come down the line of scrimmage, and right at the last second, you see that? The safety was not able to get over in time, and Ament makes a touchdown-saving tackle. Good pitch that time, as you can see, number 80 that time for Oak Park. Nick Summers was not able to get into his coverage.
Jackson, and hello. Greeting him is Mark McAdams.
Jason Short, Mark McAdams on the tackle.
But see, the game has been shortened now. Here we are at the end of the third quarter right now, so you know there's a lot of time left. But when you run the ball, you run time off the clock. So now this game is going to be shortened. So if William Christman is able to score, it's going to put a lot of pressure on him.
And we'll be back right after this.
I want to talk to you about a Boatman's home equity loan, Hal. The rates are low, the interest is usually tax deductible. You can use the money to finance anything, you know, home improvements, college, a bigger mower. Hey, it makes sense, Hal. Well, anyway, listen, I'm going to go talk to your neighbor Bobby about a home equity loan from Boatman's. Bye, Hal. Love your work. You can run, but you can't hide, Hal, from the Boatman's guy.
Surprise, we start the fourth quarter. William Christman and Oak Park tied.
Hey, Neil, you want to hear a stat? Third quarter, William Christman, 123 yards, Oak Park 20.
I'm as shocked as you are, Duran. Back to pass, Maldonado, got his receiver, it's Sean Terry. Tries to break free and is down at the 8-yard line, tackled there by Ashentrop.
The thing that they're doing, Neil, is why they're keeping him off balance is because Maldonado, they've got to respect his ability to run the football. You see him rolling out here. He pulls the defense, and then he throws right back across the grain. Ament's trying to come over along with 33 as they get the tackle. They're able to tackle him down, but they're keeping him off balance, rolling one way, throwing back the other way.
Maldonado brings his team to the line inside the 10-yard line on second down. To the near side, Gentry, and he is down to the 3-yard line. And Matt Ament made the stop. He is close to the first down. What a performance tonight by this William Christman team. And here come the Hogs.
Here he comes. Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling into the huddle.
I'll tell you what, he took about 5 guys into the end zone last time.
I mean, when you've got a weapon like that, you've got to use him.
Uh-oh, just a little bit short. Almost a yard on the play. Well, we will see Mr. Tiolino, I should say, at 303, 6'3", 303, lining up in the backfield on 4th and short.
I like these situations, Neil, because this is where you find out about your football team. Who's going to step up to the plate?
What, who can tackle a house?
Well, who can tackle a house doesn't matter. Who's going to step up and make the big play?
Right.
And someone's got to make a big play in this type of situation. Look, they've got 66, 78 in the backfield with 55 in motion. A lot of beef back there. Look at the stance by 78.
And here it comes. Touchdown Bears. The boy plant into the end zone. There's 3 or 4 of them that went in there.
I tell you, Neil, they just opened up a gaping hole. He had nothing but daylight to run in. I mean, when you... Chris Wiley, 250 pounds, he's the blocking back.
You got Hopkins. He's a midget at 215
Yeah,
who went in motion.
215 coming in motion, and then Vina is 303.
I'm not sure these guys should be allowed on the field. We may be over the weight limit.
They should be outlawed.
See, this has all been stored up all his life to carry the football. He was never able to get in the backfield in Pee Wee football. They wouldn't allow it.
But I tell you what, you give the coach a tremendous amount of credit because he realized it and used it.
Caleb Barber was backing up from the start of that play.
Well, look,
he wanted no part of that.
Do you think you're going to stick your head in there 300-something?
I'm warm up here. I'm not thinking about anything.
Oh, he's not going to hit him. That's a big man. That's intimidating, and that's why he's in the football game. You give the coach credit for being able to utilize his strengths, and his strengths are those big guys lined up in the backfield.
Man, a 7-point lead for the Bears. 10:49 to play in this one. Joe Keaton's team trying to pull it off. Barber and Hernandez deep to receive it from Brian Bates.
Keaton has done a fabulous job with their offensive game plan, Neil, and they have stuck with it, and they've played to that offensive game plan and just made plays. He's kept it really simple, but they've been mixing up their running pass, and this has allowed them to really move the ball against Oak Park, and Oak Park is kind of undecided about what they want to do on defense, and now they're in a total state of confusion.
And I'm just dumbfounded up here. I mean, you thought the house was carrying the football, but the whole neighborhood went into the end zone with it. I mean, what do you think? 2,000 pounds fell on pay dirt that time?
I give A-Man credit for at least trying to attempt to make the tackle.
There's a crater where they landed over there. And this is Bland taking the kickoff. And with some running room, running over his own people and staying on his feet. Crosses midfield and taken down at the 42 on a big return for the Northmen.
That's a big play. Now the momentum, Oak Park can't help but have momentum. They're feeling the pressure. Now they've got the momentum on a big return here by Bland. As you can see him cutting way across the grain here. A lot of missed tackles. Great job of keeping his balance. Another missed tackle. Good block there. And he's able to pick up 30 yards on the return.
And the Northman crowd getting into this thing. Ament on the option. Hopkins there to meet him head on.
See, that's where you have to block the linebacker on that type of option. Hopkins able to roam free down the line of scrimmage, and as Ament cuts up, the linebacker's running inside out to the ball, is able to make the tackle. Good defensive play, limited them on first down, Neil. They're only able to pick up 2 yards. We've seen early in the game where they've been picking up 8, 9 yards on first down situations. So the defense has improved for this Christman team, especially on first down.
Hopkins has had some outstanding games this season. Tonight another good one. Ament on the turn-in on the option play. And he's got some pretty good yards as he gets inside the 35 to the 33. Tackled there by Chuck Hopkins.
Hopkins coming in from his middle linebacking position once again, feeling the play down the line of scrimmage as the guard tries to block him, but his back is turned and he takes on a blocker, number 60 there, the guard, and is able to make the stop.
Yeah, Hopkins in one game against Truman this season, 16 tackles, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. Tonight he's having a pretty good night as well. And the Christman defense, Hopkins was there, Loving was there.
Hopkins, Loving stopping him, now forcing Keith Ross into making a decision. As you can see him step inside, but there's Loving making a big stick. Shane Loving getting his head across the receiver and knocking him backwards. So this is a big fourth down conversion.
4th and 2. Ament on the option, and he will not be denied here to the 29. Ament picks it up again, and 4 times they've gone on 4th down, and 4 times they've made it. Tackled by Mosier and Sean Terry.
That's a great Great job by Ament. As you can see, the reverse pivot that time, the good block by the pulling guard, and Ament just turns it and gets up the field for the first down.
Brian Hall with the block. How many times have we seen Matt Ament lead his team down the stretch, though? He's been doing it since he's a sophomore. This is a veteran Oak Park team. Cooper, another senior, following some blocks of some strong seniors up front on that line. He's got good yardage on first down, and Brian Mosier makes the stop.
Well, they're being patient, Neil. They're playing within themselves. They're not trying to get it back all at once and making critical mistakes. They're utilizing the time on the clock, which there's plenty of. They're running inside, they're running outside, executing very well. They've got experience, and Ament is used to bringing this team back. We've seen him do it a number of times.
And Barber heads into the line and maybe gets a yard. You know, we've talked about how veteran a club this Oak Park team is, and they really want to make it through the playoffs this season. And here it is. They return a lot of starters this season, not too many sophomores, a few juniors sprinkling that team. And on the other side, William Christman, plenty of underclassmen seeing action tonight.
Juniors, 14 juniors. They're going to be strong next year.
Let's see how the experience stands up down the stretch. Ament on the option, and gang tackled at the 20.
Neil, I'm going to show you something. If we can see this play from the sideline, Ament running down the field, turns up in. He gets hit as he starts to go forward. He gets hit again and gets knocked back. Well, the spot that he gets is not a good spot because he comes down, he gets hit there, hit once again, but then watch, he gets knocked backwards, so he didn't get a good spot.
Another fourth down play. Cooper into the line, and he's picked it up again. 5 out of 5 tonight on fourth down for Oak Park.
And they're running right up the middle, right over that big nose tackle in the middle. They've got to be able to stand stronger. Christman, you can see they stand straight up. Instead of firing out, there's a double team there, the center and the guard. But the defensive lineman who's in there at the time must be able to stay low and get underneath their pads rather than letting them get underneath his pads.
On the option, Ament inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Sean Terry kept him from getting into the end zone. How do you like the way he's carrying the football like a loaf of bread?
Well, he's carrying it very loosely, and he's got to be careful because he could have easily had that ball knocked out of his hands and turned over. But he does a great job of running with the football. You got to tuck it in. You got to know where you are on the field. He takes a big hit by Terry, but he's able to pick up.
Barber fighting, and the offensive line with the surge leads the way to the 3-yard line. Maybe the 2, Chuck Hopkins on the stop along with Tyler Clubb.
Barber never stops. Here's a tailback who just keeps his feet moving, and when you keep your feet moving, you're able to pick up those extra yards before they're able to wrap him up. But he picked up 3 yards after the initial hit by just keeping his feet going.
A whistle and a timeout, it looks like, has been called by William Christman.
Timeout, William Christman.
Well, Duran, every week we read the Sports Connection so we can find out what's going on in high school sports. I'll tell you what, it makes it so easy to follow high school sports in particular as we're doing these games. We can see what all these players have done throughout the season and these teams, and we don't miss it. Every week, the Sports Connection. If you want to subscribe, call 221-GAME. Well, right now, Joe Keaton just has to be tickled to death with the way his team has performed tonight. They have come out here in this cold weather, coldest night of the season thus far, and played the #1 team in the city straight up, and they lead it right now by 7. Knocking on the door, the Northmen. 2nd and goal. Cooper, and he is held up. Maybe got a yard. Gang tackled there by Loving, by Hopkins, and a couple of other folks there for Christman.
They continue to knock him backwards, and that's the key in goal line. You can see him running off tackle here. Good penetration, but you can see him stand him straight up as Mosier meets him head on, and they stack him up, and then Hopkins coming in, knocking him backwards.
I'll tell you what, Brian Mosier's had a heck of a game. Amen on the sneak. And I don't believe he made it in there. The big folks standing strong inside.
Boy, they're standing strong inside, and that's what you have to do. You got to submarine and get down underneath, and here we are, 4th down. This could be the season here. Not the season, well, the season for William Christman, the biggest stop of their careers. They do not allow Ament to get in the end zone. They're continuing to knock him backwards.
4th and goal with 4:20 to play. Ament on the option, touchdown Northman. You got to call on your leader.
Call on your leader, the guy who makes it happen, has made it happen the last 3 years here, Matt Ament, making the big run down the line of scrimmage.
What do you do here, Duran? You go for 2, you go for the extra point. What's up here?
Well, you've got to go for the tie, I think, and hopefully with 4:14 to go, because if you miss it, Neil, the way they've been able to control this ball.
And that's exactly what they have done as Bland comes on to drill the extra point. We're tied again at 26.
This bulletin in for the concession stand. Nachos and hot dogs, half price.
What a great ball game tonight. Ament going in from 1.
Another 4th down conversion here, Neil. They're 5 of 5 on 4th down. This one, the big one, because it enables them to get in the end zone, score the touchdown, and then kick the extra point to tie this football game up.
There's Matt Ament, his 2nd touchdown tonight, and this season he has scored 11. And a big drive when the Northmen needed it most.
And Anthony Willis back to receive.
And right now we're tied at 26.
Here's the stage of the game, Neil, when you've got a veteran team and you've been used to winning. Your mindset is that we're going to win this football game. A team like Christman, who hasn't won, has to develop and change that attitude. Now they've got to say, regardless of what happens, we're going to win this football game. And if they're able to put together a drive and march down the field, come up with some big plays, they can do that.
At the 10-yard line, this is Willis. And Willis racked up at the 23. Looked like 85 was in there. Mark Daniels on the stop. Actually, Jake Catherell.
Tony Maldonado in the first half rushing, he was minus yards. The second half, he's 4 for 51. So,
well, most of that on a 41-yard run for a touchdown.
Probably the biggest series of the game here for Christman.
3:50 to go in this one. We're tied at 26 in Northtown. Sean Terry looked like he wants to throw it. He does. It's incomplete. Intended receiver, Jason Faulkner.
Pass intended for Jason Faulkner.
As he fired it right at his boots.
Well, they're going to the short side of the field, so he was running out of territory over there to really set and plant his feet. Oak Park doing a good job of staying at home and forcing him to throw on the run, and it's very difficult even for Terry, who's a great athlete, Neil, to make that throw.
Terry, another junior. And this season, why not give him a chance to air it out?
That's right.
He's done all right. On the option, Maldonado cuts it in, and he is creamed. And it looked like 75, Chris Ziegler, that made the stop.
When the game
also Catherell.
When the game is on the line, your defense is what charges you up. And this Oak Park defense is making their point here on this play. You see how they fire off the ball? Maldonado appears to have a gap, but that's a tremendous play that time on the outside made by Jake Catherell, who just brings him down along with Ziegler.
All right, timeout on the field. Upcoming a 3rd and 9 for William Christman. Again, join us out at Ward Parkway Shopping Center at 7 o'clock on Wednesday night for the live taping of Bump and Run with the Kansas City Chiefs. Another great season by the Chiefs this year. 5-1, and had J.J. Burden out there last week. We'll have plenty of great guests with Caddy's Corner, Theodis Brown coming up in November. And we also want to remind you that you can watch and win on Bump and Run during the month of November, at least 3 weeks in November. You'll have a chance to watch the trivia question, get the answer, write it down on your entry blank that you can get from the American Cablevision stores or from the ad in the Kansas City Star coming up next Friday. Back to pass Maldonado, and it's caught at the 32. Making the catch over there is Faulkner, but it looks like he's short of the first down.
He's short of the first down by maybe a hair, and I'm sure that they're going to go for it, or maybe not.
I think they're probably going to kick it away. Try to call on their defense with 2:54 and counting in this one. Well, at least they're lined up in punt formation. Now they switch to go for it. Maldonado the give, and that's Jackson who appears to have it.
And he does have it. That's a gutsy call that time. You knew that they were going to try to go for it. Why not?
You're 2-6.
You're 2-6.
You haven't had a winning season since '75. You might as well.
You don't have to play conservative, because if you lose, what are they going to say? Hey, we got a lot of young kids. We'll be back next year. This time, hey, play for the win. Good running. Good run here. Ament right there misses the tackle, and Barber's trying to pull him back. And
Maldonado has his receiver, Terry. Stays on his feet, gets a block down the sideline, and Waldman finally runs him down at the 18. Mercy!
And Maldonado took a tremendous shot back there, Neil. He's finally just getting up. And what a throw by him. He's been accurate all night long, and I'll tell you, a big, big play. This is a great game.
45 yards on this hookup.
Neil, as you can see the play action, watch him take this hit. Oh, he gets buried by Ziegler. He takes time getting up, but he stays in the pocket. And look how wide open he is down the field.
Weevil wobbles, but he won't fall. Terry.
What a great job by Terry at keeping his balance. And here's Waldman right there making a big stop.
My goodness, what a game we have tonight. And who would have thought of it? 2-6, William Christman coming in here. And Keith Ross's team, 8-0 coming into this game, undefeated, 1-0 in district play. William Christman was 0-1 in district play. But Joe Keaton's team showing you plenty of heart in this cold weather tonight in Northtown. But remember the experience of this Northman team. Plenty of seniors out there.
And you got Matt Ament, who's used to having big comebacks, Neil, and I tell you, he is just hoping that they're able to get this football back. But I tell you, Maldonado's been impressive with his arm tonight, Neil. I tell you, he's put the ball on the money just about every single time he's thrown down the center of the football field.
He has authored some big plays tonight, and Ament just hopes the offense can get it back. 1st and 10 inside the 20. Maldonado to throw it again. Set up the screen. Near sideline. Touchdown, Loving. Shane Loving.
I tell you, they got caught, Neil. Oak Park did. They tried to blitz him, and then they came back with the exact play that can burn you, and that is that screen back across the backside of the field, and they got burnt by it. Good block there on the outside. And I tell you, what a play calling. I tell you, Coach has made some calls tonight. You can tell he was an offensive coordinator for 23 seasons. Yeah.
Also a graduate assistant at K-State when Lynn Dickey played, and you know the fireworks were going back in the late 60s at K-State. And this one is drilled through there by the kicker, Brian Bates. And Shane Loving with the 16-yard reception, his 2nd touchdown of the season.
Great job by Loving that time. Good play. Here's the blitz coming there. Pick it up. He steps back and wails it over there, and you see the block right there by number 68, making it big time, and there's Loving getting into the end zone. Rolling out, picking up the blitz. You can see him coming from the outside. Asher coming. Good block there. He's on the ground, Hernandez, and no one's there to touch him. What they've been doing all night, Neil, misdirection, rolling one way, throwing back against the grain the other way, and it's been wide open the entire evening.
And the extra point went through there, and it's a 7-point game, 33-26. William Christman on top. And really, Duran, if I had to pick a guy and a team in this situation that could take it back down the field, it would be Oak Park and Matt Ament. Let's see what happens with less than 2 to play, 1:56 to go. Bates again with the short kick. And again, it's Bland. Scoops it up like a shortstop and brings it to the 40. So the Northmen looking to go 60 yards here and get into the end zone.
Well, Amen here has got to throw the football now, Neil. You've got to put the ball in the air if you're Oak Park. And they've usually had to do it, been able to do it this year on their terms. Now it's got to be on the other team's terms because they're behind and they've got to score to tie this game up.
Well, that's your score. 7-point lead for William Christman in this one. And the big boys up front digging in.
And it's up to this defense to stop them.
We have an injured player on the far sideline. We can't tell who it is from here. People huddle around him. Well, this type of great action happening every week on the high school game of the week. We have really had some good ones the last 3 weeks. And you can see the high school game of the week every Friday night at 10:30 p.m. and Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m. Then again on Monday night at 9:30 if the NFL is a drag for some reason that night. You never know. Now the Northman crowd trying to
fire their team up.
Get this thing going. Let's at least get a graphic up there that says 78 has scored 2 touchdowns tonight. I really want to see that. Sean Terry appears to be the injured player, and they helped him up off the field.
Hopefully he's okay because he's been a big catalyst, and potentially he could be our player of the game.
60 yards between Matt Ament and the goal line. Ament to pass, lets it fly, near sideline, has his receiver, but overthrew him. That was Hernandez, who had at least 5 yards on the defense, and Ament was hit hard as he threw it.
Well, the young kid, Jason Faulkner, has got to learn that he's got to look at the entire field. He can't play man-to-man and expect to watch the whole field. He's got to watch the whole field. You can see Ament, he gets hit that time after the play is over, and he's down.
Boy, maybe a late hit there as well. Now, you know the flag's coming in the NFL if the quarterback is hit that late.
The only bad part is that he's got to go off the field unless it's a timeout call. But that was a late hit.
Well, the collective breaths of everyone in the stands for the Northmen right now being held.
And Kyle Sharp, who's the junior, 5'10", 165 pounds. Actually, he's a freshman. It looks like he's taking snaps.
Well, that would be incredible. Well, Ament's still on the field. Still down on the field, being attended to over there by the coaching staff of Oak Park. Well, again, Oak Park is 8-0 coming into this ball game.
Now you've got Zach Drury coming in, taking snaps. So he's a junior. You would think that he would be the one that's called on.
But this game, obviously, to keep the dream season alive here for Oak Park is just absolutely critical here, trailing by 7 points. 2nd down and 10, 60 yards from the goal line with 1:37 to play. And here's how the 2 outstanding QBs look tonight.
I tell you, Maldonado has won the this battle tonight. Look at the passing yards, 211 yards, 2 TDs, 51 yards. Amos got 55 and 2 TDs rushing the ball, but 17 yards passing. He's only 2 for 6. So, and this hurts by having him out of the game because he's been in there the entire time. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
That is Zach Jury in there, quarterback, the junior, and Cooper spinning and turning for about 2 yards on the play, stopped by Shane Loving. Shane's had a great defensive game tonight.
Shane had a great game. They called timeout. They've got to put the ball in the air if they want to win this game. There's no question about it.
They're still attending to Ament. He's got a seat on the bench. And looks like he's not going to come back in here right now. Join Hot 103 Sports Director Mac Clay every Friday at 6:50 p.m. for the high school roundup on Kansas City Alive. Mac will preview the high school game of the week and last week's player of the game. That's Mac Clay of the Hot 103 Jams. And don't forget
to slam, bam, jam the Z.
All right. Mixed it up a little bit on you this week. Huge play in the game. And 3rd down and 7.
And our man has just arrived at the stadium, Mr. Theodis Brown.
All right. Sound the trumpet. Caleb Barber to the 49. Nice bit of running by Caleb, taken down by Clubb.
And he's still short of the 1st down. It's a good pitch that time.
Well, let's notify Theodis that he has missed an outstanding ball game to this point.
And the clock is running with 1 minute and 15 seconds to go. They don't have much time.
Oak Park 6 out of 6 on 1st down tonight, or 4th down tonight. Another key 4th down play. Cooper, and I believe he's got the 1st down as he goes across the 50 to the 49. And yes, he has picked it up. Loving made the stop.
It's a good stop there, but the clock is going to continue to run as soon as the official places his ball down, because he was able to keep him in bounds.
And the chains are moved. And now the clock will begin to roll with the official signal. There it goes, 57 and winding. Back to pass Jury, near sideline. And it's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver.
He's wide open.
Sharp, that's the freshman Kyle Sharp. How about this kind of pressure for a freshman?
Well, Faulkner's at the cornerback position. They're playing a little bit like a 2-deep coverage. But when he sees there's no one else threatening his zone, he's got to run deep with that receiver. He can't just turn him loose. You can see the outside guy coming in, the safety number 67 who's back there for William Christman.
Jury again, and in and out of the hands again of the receiver, Kyle Sharp.
That's Ben Moore, who's the strong safety back there. He's got to get deep, too. He's got to play the deepest of the deepest.
Now, we got an ambulance on the field on the far sideline. I don't know what's going on over there. At any rate, 3rd down and 10.
And this is a game. Those safeties need to work wider. There's a handoff that time. They can't run that play, Neil. They're just going to run the clock down.
40
They're not
seconds
picking up
to
the
go.
1st down. They're taking too much time off the clock. They've got to throw the football. At least now they've got to pick up the 1st down. They're taking timeout to stop the clock, and that's their last timeout, I believe.
Coach Ross with the timeout to talk it over. Upcoming a 4th down and 4 for Oak Park as they try to continue their undefeated season. And they're trying to do it without their senior leader at quarterback, Matt Ament. What an impressive record for Coach Ross the last 2 seasons and 3 seasons, really. One of the top teams in the area, and there is Matt Ament on the sideline. Down after that, what appeared to be a late hit.
Yep, appeared to be a late hit and could have hit his head on that hard surface out there, Neil.
4th down, 4.
Watch Khalid Barber coming out of the backfield right here. Here's the pass.
Sharp lets it fly. It's intercepted. Anthony Willis.
and they can't stop the clock. All they have to do is kneel down. This is one of the biggest upsets in the high school area here. Oak Park undefeated. Looks like they're going to lose this game. The wide formation, as you can see right there, the throw coming down. He had him. He was open down the field. Josh Haynes, but then, as you can see, number 10 for the Christman defense comes up with the big interception, Anthony Willis.
Duran, how many times has the freshman had the opportunity to handle the ball down the stretch? He was the intended receiver twice. He threw the pass there. Tremendous confidence shown in a freshman.
So it goes to show you.
And he can't even drive yet.
What a big upset this is.
And the time is gone, and William Christman has won this football game, 33-26.
He was hurt. Sorry, I had all my back.
Well, and the sportsmanship shown there by both coaches. Boy, obviously a tough defeat for Keith Ross, but I mean, this makes the season for William Christman only their 3rd win of the season, and Joe Keaton's team on the cold surface here in Northtown has defeated the undefeated Oak Park Northmen, and we'll be back with more in this one right after this.
You know, Ed, it's time your house did something nice for you.
Who are you?
I'm the boatman's guy, here to talk about home equity loans. Low rates, the interest is usually deductible. You just X out those taxes.
Mildred!
Mildred, come out here. It's about a home equity loan from Boatman's. Hey, Ed's pumped. Mildred, he says he loves you.
The high school game of the week is brought to you by Boatman's, Kansas City's largest bank with 45 metro area locations to serve all your banking needs.
Once again, the shocker. They're stunned here in Northtown. William Christman has won it 33-26, second round of district play, and it really spins District 16 into disarray. I mean, it looked like Oak Park was the clear-cut favorite and would-be winner of this district, but now you got plenty of folks with one loss.
Plenty of folks, and I tell you what, this Christman team just played outstanding football, but Neil, you know, at the end of the season, anything can happen. This team has played against some tough talent early in the season. You know, the Rockhursts, the Blue Springs. So they've been prepared for a team like Oak Park. And maybe Oak Park came in here looking past William Christman, not thinking that they had the weapons. And as it turns out, they had plenty of weapons tonight, and they did a great job. And Theodis Brown has those weapons down there.
Plenty of young weapons. And let's go. Theodis, you missed a great game. I don't know where you were, but this was probably the best game we've had this season. Take it away, Big Daddy.
It was unbelievable. I have a couple of guys with me, quarterback Tony Maldonado and Tony. This was like two big heavyweights going after each other. You guys had everything going to you in the second half.
Yeah, all we did was wanted to come out second half and stick them as hard as we did the first half, even harder. We didn't want them to come out and take control of us. We wanted to come out and take control of the whole field, and we got big keys and plays and stuff going our way, and with them we made something happen.
Now, you made some big plays, especially in the second half. You guys controlled the football with some big plays.
Yeah, coming out in the half with the pass, especially the one with Shane Lovin at the very end to cap it off. But there was a lot of big plays in the whole game. There wasn't just one. We had a lot of big key plays in the game, and we just made it happen. I mean, that's all we came out here to do, is come out here, get our job done, and go home with the victory.
Well, that you did, Tony. Congratulations. I want to bring another man in here. This kind of rendition of the refrigerator. And Venna, you scored on big plays, and you told me earlier that you guys don't practice a lot of it, but it made happen tonight.
Yes, it did. I'd like to thank my coach for, putting me inside that game, because I felt excited, holding the ball for the first time, making my first touchdown in my whole career. I thank my coach for that, and my offensive line.
most of the time offensive linemen don't get that kind of accolades that you do from quarterbacks and wide receivers and running backs, but it seemed like things happened for you when you guys got close down there in the goal line.
Yeah, it was pretty close, and after all these touchdowns that everybody's making, and it helped our team.
Well, congratulations, big victory. And we're going to swing right around here to head coach Joe, big victory, second round of the district play, and seemed like you guys is like two big heavyweights going toe-to-toe.
Well, we don't consider ourselves heavyweights, but I know our kids play really hard, and a lot of people kind of had this game already chalked up, and we played hard all year, and I think we had one coming, and we always knew we were going to beat one of the big boys, and we've had a chance at several. So
it seemed like the special teams was a big outcome for you guys this evening also.
Well, we tell our kids that there are going to be more ball games won and lost every Friday night in the kicking game than any other part, and we put a lot of practice in on the kicking game, and our kids know what we want done, and they do it, and it really paid off tonight.
Coach, real quick, what did you tell your ball players at the end of the football game?
I told them it was just another day at the office.
Well, Coach, that certainly was. Congratulations, great victory, and keep it going.
Thanks very much.
Guys, back up to you. Have a happy coach here.
All right, Theodos, thanks a lot, and glad you made it in, at least for the end of the game. And, a lot of credit has to go to Coach Joe Keaton, Duran, because,
Goodness.
we saw the old offensive coordinator at his best tonight.
Oh, he did it all. He kept them off balance, Oak Park. He came out with some razzle-dazzle. He came out with some basic plays, but then he came out and had some big plays. And I think the key was, Neil, on first down, he was able to throw the ball down the field to get big plays to give his team momentum. And once they got that momentum, they just kept going with it. And it was a big game for William Christman.
Well, a great game tonight for William Christman. They win it in the second round of district play over the then undefeated Oak Park Northmen. The Northmen fall to 8-1. Christman improved to 3-6. They did it on plays like this to Loving. Great job by our American Cablevision crew tonight, led by director John Dennison for Theodos Brown and Duran Cherry. And the entire crew, this is Neil Hartwell saying good night, everybody. We'll see you next time on the High School Game of the Week.